So Bill Gates wants to create a formula on their own?
Yes.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah, so we're currently have a shortage of formula because this administration is sending it to the border, and now that we have a shortage of formula, Bill Gates is coming up with his own synthetic formula.
Wow.
That's a disaster.
It is.
So he's literally creating a problem and then a solution for it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not like Freemasonic or anything. That was actually going back to what Hilton and I were talking about earlier, is they're going to stick you with something and then they're going to create the problem. It's rescue, anger, victim, order out of chaos.
Yeah.
And people are still going towards this Bill Gates guy like he's still just this awesome guy and he deserves to be. Dude, he literally worked in computers and he's not a medical doctor. He is not licensed to do these kind of
I
things.
never trusted Bill Gates, especially since he had something to do with Windows. Bill Gates was crazy. He was always Windows was most of the time it turned into something nothing but full of viruses and horrible things.
Yeah, didn't you say that Bill Gates had like Windows and
Windows?
I saw a commercial of him in the '80s pretending to be a robot and they're like talking about AI and the influx. They were talking about this stuff in the '80s.
Well, online, I believe you can still find something about Windows 95, that where you went into Windows 95 and put in a certain set of code, and it supposedly opened up a wall of shame, or its own private hell would come up and give a list of names on this wall that it was supposedly built into Windows 95.
And it was all the people he killed?
It was like, I don't know if it was he killed them, but it told stuff about all sorts of very dark things.
Like
I'd
what?
only heard about it. I'd never seen it, but I'd only heard about it being possible. And there's probably a few people out there that if they're willing to give a comment back on this, they probably know about that. And I hope they will send you a comment so you can find it for yourself that way.
Really? So there's all this stuff that you could know about Bill Gates, and yet people are still buying everything he has to say. And he literally works at the Center for Depopulation. And it's scary to not see how many people are like responding to me trying to tell him, oh, hey, this guy's kind of corrupt. Oh, hey, this guy's kind of not allowed in India. I'm pretty sure Russia fucking hates him too.
The World Health Organization causes almost as much trouble as it tries to solve.
Oh, yes, yeah.
It probably creates more trouble than it tries to solve, because all it does is control health solutions. It doesn't actually give any.
Wow. That's another thing. Like going back earlier, this Klaus Schwab guy. It's not by accident what's going on. It's intentional. And then when you say it's intentional, people call you a conspiracy theorist.
Well, here's a neat way to put this: a total synthetic formula for children. Don't we all know that life comes from life?
Yeah.
When you eat food, you're eating to get life. Anything synthetic contains no real life. These children will grow up to be robots.
Dude, that's literally because they're talking about linking our DNA, and you think Elon's a hero? Everyone here, I'm going to finally give you my take on Elon Musk. I think he's just he's another side to all this, and he's right in everyone's face, and his girlfriend's a rabid communist and wants to use AI to further the communist agenda.
Yeah, and he actually sits in, I don't think him and the girlfriend must get along very well then, considering that he's constantly warning about AI.
He's constantly warning about AI, and then also there's the idea that he never actually created the idea of Tesla, and that in fact he was an heir to his dad's fortune that he made by exploiting emerald mines during an apartheid that was going on in South Africa, where Elon is originally from.
Oh, that's easily possible.
Right, and I'm not, if he makes the Twitter thing happen, whatever, I never even fucking planned to have a Twitter. Well, so it's not even like... I just don't think the Truth Social took off the way Trump wanted it to, because everybody likes Twitter. Everybody likes to have the blue bird and the check mark, and it's all color manipulative.
Well, I'd like to see him do something he actually says he would do. I'd like to see it. I'm really starving for someone to do what they say.
Right. So there's a lot of that
I'd love
too.
to see that.
There's a lot of this like people are wondering if anything's actually going to happen, or if people like Gates are going to be held accountable, or if Soros is actually going to get arrested, or if Klaus Schwab, the weirdo, is going to, like, these guys that, like, it's all tied to the Freemasons, and it's tied to
maybe we got a lucky thing going for us right now, and that was the Mayan calendar, the new Baktun, the casting down of the old gods and the old system. And it is in the process of happening. We're seeing people come to light that no one knew were dark. We're seeing a lot of stuff come out, and people are starting to really truly distrust it.
Yeah, so that's what
considering your podcast is starting to take off.
Yeah, well, and I kind of noticed that too. I never really expected to get many subscribers. I just like being here for the people that want to explore